Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we'll be discussing about human anatomy. So let's look at the proportions of a human body. The human body can be divided into 8 divisions. It starts with the 0-8 division on the toe line, and at the 8th division, you got the head, which is actually 1/8 of the whole body's length. The hip line will lie at the midpoint of the total body's length, which is 4th division, and the knee line will lie at the 2nd division. What you have to keep in mind is that the length between the shoulders and the elbows will be the same as the length between the elbow and the fingertips. The same applies even for the legs. So the length between the kneecap and the toe will be the same as the thigh. The proportions remain the same for a male, female or a child, but the heights are different. So if I take the height of a male body to be 8 units, the females will be 7 units and the child's could be around 5 units. So now let's look at the proportions of a human face. It can also be divided into 8 divisions, starting with the chin line at the 0th division and ending at the 8th division, which will be the top part of the hair. The hairline will lie at the 6th division. The central eye line will be around the 4th division, which is the midpoint between the top part of the hair and the chin line. The nose line will lie between the 2nd and the 3rd division, and the lips will be around the 1st division. These are approximate values and you could always vary them. So now let's look at drawing a human in action. There are 3 steps to this, and the first step is to draw stick figures. And when I say stick figures, I literally mean them. So I'm going to be showing here a person who is running. So I will start with the head, and I'll continue the rest of the body, the arms, the limbs. The only thing I'm keeping in mind is the proportions that was discussed earlier. I'm using a 8B pencil here so that the drawing is visible, but it is advisable to use a lighter one. Okay, so step 2 is to add muscles. So now step 3, which is to complete the outfit. I'm going to be making the outfit of a businessman who's late for work, and he will also be carrying a briefcase with him. So that's the completed figure. So now let's move on to humans in perspective. We have a human being here and the vanishing point. So what if we had to draw a human behind this? The first thing we'll do is draw lines of perspective emerging from the vanishing point. So as you can see, the height of the human being is scaled down as it approaches the vanishing point. The same can be said for the proportions as well. So if we see the waist height, even that will scale down if we join the line coming from the vanishing point to this waist height. So now we can draw the human being inside this area. So now what if we had to draw the human being on this side? The first thing we'll do is draw horizontal lines, determining the height of the human being on the other side of the paper. This will be followed by a vertical line. Now we can join the vanishing point to these vertical lines. So now the same human being can be drawn in this area of the paper as well, using the same guidelines as explained before. So now let's see what a human looks like when we see it from above the eye level and when we see it from the feet level. So as you can see in the picture, on the left side you have a human being viewed from the top or the bird's eye view, and on the right side you got a human which is being viewed from beneath the floor. So according to the perspective, the lines will converge downwards or upwards accordingly. Now why is this important is because sometimes there will be a question where you have to draw from the eye of a bird which is sitting at the top of a tree maybe and looking down at a human, and then this kind of views will be quite helpful in that case. So you have to keep in mind the proportions of the face with the rest of the body change dramatically. So when it's viewed from the top, the face occupies more than half of the whole body's length. But this can again vary as to how high the viewer is or how much far away the viewer is from the human. But when it's viewed from the bottom, the human face becomes even smaller than 1/8 of the whole body. You always have to be mindful of the proportions which change according to the angle of the viewer and how far he is from the human. So now let's see some examples. Start drawing stick figures of human beings in different actions. These are some of the completed sketches. Also practice drawings of human body parts interacting with objects. So that's it for this video. See you in the next one.